Yo, we're back in After Effects, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to get the crazy magic lines or shockwave effect that you can call. I don't exactly know what to call it, but you can see it looks super insane. So in my timeline you can see I have this clip right here which we're gonna add the effect on, and we also got a marker in the middle, around the middle, not exactly at the middle of course, but we got the marker right here where we're gonna add the curtain and like add the effect in. So to make that cut, I'm gonna use Ctrl+Shift+D on my keyboard to split it right there and duplicate this clip. And firstly what we're gonna do is set our resolution to full and just like rotoscope out our subject real quick so we can put like lines behind him and in front of him as well. So let me just do that real quick. Then after your rotoscope is done, make sure to freeze it real quick right here. Then back to your main comp, you can see if I hide the another layer, you can see it is like rotoscoped out and ready to go. And you can name it something like BZ if you want, and you can name the roto to like be clear right here. Now we actually gonna select our BZ layer. For now we're gonna hide the roto layer and go to the, but before going more into the video, I just like to let you guys know about my new preset pack, which is Essential FX Free 2 of course. It comes with 40+ presets in there, all specifically made for music video to help you edit like a pro. We of course had the V1 of this and that shit really like blew up, so we decided to go a lot more crazy on the V2 and make it the best pack ever. So if you want to check it out, I'll link it in the description, but let's just get into the video. Right side right here, and where it says camera track, just track our camera and go to the advanced and hit detail analysis, so it like tracks our camera and gives the data to us. Then after your tracking is done, select your camera track and make sure your visibility is turned on. Then you can select one of these track points in the background, maybe somewhere around here, and create a solid. So now we can get the solid that is like tracked to our scene. That's exactly what we want. So now we are ready to start adding like those lines and stuff. So firstly we're gonna turn our roto layer, and firstly we're gonna add a solid right here and trim it right here. And to create that line we'll be using sapphire. So from sapphire we'll be using sapphire grunge. This is like a really underrated effect from sapphire that you can use to create like crazy effects. And scroll down where it says stamp 1, we're gonna set it from grunge floor to something like tile cracks right here to get those lines, and we're gonna set the stamp 2 to none, so we only get one right here. Now in here you can go scroll down in stamp 1 details and firstly bring up the density a little bit, bring up the brightness a little bit, and go to where it says resize and bring that up as well, so it is a little scale up right there. And you can just play around with the colors for sure. For me I'm gonna set one something like a blue, something like this, and the stamp 2 to something like a white, so right there you can see bright and clear. Maybe that's too bright, go down the brightness a little bit. Then you can bring up the stamp size at the top and bring up the density at there as well. Bring up the density to around like 3k or something like that. Yeah, 3k. Then hit the stopwatch in the value and make sure the first keyframe at the first frame, go to the end and lower it down so it like goes down right there. Now we're gonna do the same thing with the opacity right here. So hit the stopwatch in the opacity, go a bit further and lower it down to 0, so we get our animation like this, something like that. Maybe I'll put the opacity keyframe somewhere around like here. Then easy ease our stamp keyframe, the stamp density, and go to the graph and make a graph like this, so it like slowly disappears right there. As you can see, that looks super clean right there of course. Now we gonna duplicate this and hide this second one, and firstly we're gonna pre-comp this right here. You can pre-comp it into a single layer and we'll call it blue lines, rename it. And remember we made a duplicate of it, so visible the duplicate right here. Then in this duplication what we're gonna do is play around with the keyframes, I mean the seed right here, where if you scroll down you can see a value called seed, and just like play around so we get a unique look right here, something like this. And now in here we can change the color to yellow because this will be in the background, so I want to send it to something like this yellow right here. And then you you can bring up the value on this more. So I'm gonna go with something like 6000 for now. Now after this, we're gonna pre-comp this as well. So right click, pre-comp, okay, and we actually gonna name it yellow lines right here, lines right here. And now we're gonna put this yellow lines before our roto layer, and the blue lines will be in front of our roto layer, something right there. Hide the track solid, then make sure in those blue lines and your yellow lines, make sure to solve switches most, and in most just set it to something like linear dots, so it actually turns into like transparent right here. So do that to both of your layers, something right there. Then again you can toggle switch and more. And now we're gonna enable 3D on both of our lines layers. So just enable 3D on both of those by clicking these icons, and then after you play that, you can see we have it like tracked to our scene, something right there. So that's exactly what we want. Now firstly we're gonna focus on the blue lines layer. So going at the last frame, we're just gonna scale it up so it like fits in the scene right there, something right there. Looks pretty cool. Then we're gonna go to the yellow lines, bring out the position of this, and bring out the position of the track solid as well, and copy this value and paste that value at the yellow lines, and then scale it up. Make sure you're in the last frame as well, and then scale it up so it like fills in the whole screen right there. Then now if we play that through, you can see we already have that look going on right there. And now we're gonna of course add some glow in here. So for the glow, I'm using deep glow right here. Firstly in the back layer, just right there, bring it up, bring this up, and then go over to tint and set it to yellow, something like this, and enable the tint and set it to overlay, the blending mode, and that looks something right there. And after that you can add something like a fast box blur in here and bring up the value a little bit, so around like 1, so it goes a little blurry right there. Then copy the deep glow in the blue line and set it to blue in the color simply, so something right there. And then if we play that through, bro, that looks insane right there, bro. This is some secret sauce right here. Like a lot of people really like gatekeep these type of sauce, but you know me, like I like to provide a lot of value to y'all, so yeah. But now let's just finish it off. So for that, I'll be using my Essential FX V2. If you don't already know, Essential FX V2 is my preset pack, which allows you to add some crazy effects in just few clicks. So we'll be using that right there. So for that, we're gonna create an adjustment layer at top firstly, and firstly we're gonna add a simple CC right here. We actually gonna use the V2, so Essential FX V2, open up there, use the presets, Essential FX V2, and firstly in here we're gonna add the black and white CC first to get a really dope like color grade going right here, something right there. You can see that looks super cinematic, but maybe one thing I'm gonna go is hue and saturation and bring that up a little bit more, so it is not like completely desaturated right there. That CC looks so clean, bro. But anyways, I think I'm gonna go into my yellow lines as well and set it to something like green, or maybe I'm gonna set it to normal and use this unmarked right here because it is like too popping off for me. And then now I forgot to mention you can use something like energy overlay with it as well. So I have this overlay right here, which I'm gonna drag it on our timeline, put this before the adjustment layer faso, trim it, and right around where it comes in, so around like here, just like rotate it and put it something like this, maybe somewhere around like here, yeah, something right there. Then you can set the blending mode to screen and then scale it up more, not gonna lie, so around like here. And then we're gonna take our deep glow, the Adler deep glow, and paste it at like the energy right there, so it also has some dope glow, and lower it down. Bro, my computer right now is struggling for real. But anyways, lower down the radius and I'll bring up the color right here, maybe lower it down more and put somewhere like here, and bring up the overlay right there. And now if you play that through, you can see that looks super insane right there. We're gonna go over to the CC, and in the CC we're gonna add a grain. For that, I'm gonna use a simple noise right here, put this before the curves and bring it up to something like 6 or something like that to add a little bit of texture in there that I really love, yeah, something right there. And now if you play that through, you can see we have a hard cut between our effect on our original clip right here. To fix that, we're gonna select all of these, pre-comp it right here, pre-comp. Then after you pre-comp that, we're gonna create an adjustment layer right here and open up our animation presets, user presets, Essential FX V2, and in here I'm gonna add a distortion to make that like the cut like real smooth. So I'm gonna use Asim warp distort right here, line up the keyframe right here real easily. And now if I play that through, through. After that, you can see we have this crazy distortion in it that looks super smooth. Also, you can play around with these keyframes to get like different looks. So you can extend this one right here and these two right here, this one, and the wipe chroma right here as well. And then if you play that through, that looks super dope. Like with few clicks you can get some insane effect, like using my essential effect, which is like truly like which is truly goated for real. Like I can trim it till here only, and then use like a adjustment layer right here and use some framers from the essential effects. Like stacking up all these effects is really fun and allows you to create some like crazy effects. So I'm gonna add a framer 4 right here, and after that framer you can see it already looks insanely clean right there. So yeah, if you wanna grab essential effects, I'll link it in the description. It is like truly like a goated pack out right now, one of the best pack. It comes with 40 plus presets, all drag and drop as I showed, and I went like 40 out of 40, so every preset is like goated. So yeah, I'll link it in the description if you want to check it out. But after all, I guess we are done with this effect, and our final effect looks something like this. So that's it for today's video, guys. If you like this video, please consider the like button and also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and I'ma see you on the next one. Peace.